Okay, so today in class we're going to work on finding the area of trapezoids. In the last couple days we've worked on triangle area, parallelogram area, and even area of complex shapes. So we're going to treat the trapezoid as a combination of two triangles. So if you look at this trapezoid, and if you think about the complex shapes that we worked on before, where we found shapes within shapes, I could take this trapezoid and I can divide it into different triangles, two different triangles. So I know that when you see that picture, it's probably pretty easy for you to see the first triangle, which I'm tracing over with the smartboard. And then it might be a little bit harder for you to see the second triangle, which I'll also trace over. And see how those two triangles together, let's change the inside of this one to be, how about light green? And go back to that. So in other words, when you look at a trapezoid, and yesterday we did this complex shape problem on the left, so we're kind of using that thinking. You could see a trapezoid, like the one right here, and use your knowledge of triangle area, which is this formula here, to figure out the area of the trapezoid. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to move this trapezoid down just a little bit and have you look at this trapezoid. You're going to cut this paper up into two parts in your comp book. So we'll talk about what your comp book is going to look like right now. Actually, now's a good time. So let me just move this down. In your comp book, you have two of the same picture. So you're going to just cut your sheet up and take this whole picture, and you're going to glue it into your comp book. So we'll kind of make that happen. So you're going to glue it, and you're going to title it area of trapezoid. Then you're going to take this same shape, and you're going to cut it into two parts. And you're going to glue the two parts into your comp book. And that's what I'm going to help you do right now. So you're going to cut along that white diagonal line. So you have the top triangle and the bottom triangle. And you no longer have this. You've cut it up. And you're going to glue these in where you rotate this one like that. And you're going to glue it in, and we'll figure out where all the missing numbers go next. And you're going to glue this one in down here. So the idea is you're taking this triangle, you're gluing it in, and you're showing how you can divide it into two triangles, and you're gluing those in, and you're going to use your knowledge of triangle area to find each piece. So what we know is the height of this triangle is 3 inches. I'm going to put that right there. You could even draw the height off to the side if that's easier for you to think of. So it could be there, or it could be there. And then the yellow base, if you look up here, is the 7 inches. So you're going to pick up your pencil, and you're going to write down your area. Length here is 7 inches. interesting thing about this is that the height of this other triangle is also 3 inches. So in the height of this triangle, put that over a little bit. They both have the same height. And the base of this triangle is 3.2 inches. And we just use this 7 over here. The base of that triangle is 7 inches. So that's this full length. So if you think of the trapezoid up here as area 1 and area 2, then the triangle on the left is area 1, and the triangle on the right is area 2. And if you can figure out the area of triangle 1 and 2, you can get the area of the trapezoid. Remember from our work last week that we know the area of a triangle is base times height. So we don't really need this anymore because we've cut it up. So we're going to use this rule in our comp book. And one of my suggestions is always to pick up a highlighter and highlight the base and the height, so you know what numbers to use. So the base is 3.2, and the height is 3 here. So for area 1, I'm going to do 3.2 times 3, and then because it's a triangle, I'm going to divide by 2. That's the rule. For area 2, I'm going to follow the same process. I'm going to highlight the base, which is this whole length, 7 by 3, because I'm always looking to see where the square angle is. And that means sometimes it's outside the triangle. So for area 2, it's 7 times 3 divided by 2. We have a little bit of decimal work to do here. I can do some traditional multiplication as scratch work. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 9.6 is my answer. So then I have to take my 9.6, and because it's a triangle, divided by 2. And this one, 7 times 3 is 21. I have to divide that by 2. So I know half of 9 is 4.5, so I can do some mental math here to divide by 2. Half of 9 is 4.5. Half of 6/10 is 3/10. So 9.6 divided by 2 is 4.8. And 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. So when I add 10.5 plus 4.8, eight and 5 make 13. We get the total area to be 15.3 units squared. And the units were inches. That's my final answer. So now I'm going to pause and we're going to put notes into our comp book for the rule. So whenever you see a trapezoid, you can imagine 2 triangles. Take the trapezoid apart. And one triangle works nicely if you rotate it. And then label This is base 1, and the height is out here, and that's where you have a square angle, and that's the height. You take the second triangle, just put this up here, and pull it to the left, and label that base 2, and then draw in your height straight up and down to make a square angle, and label that your height, and then find the area of each triangle and add it together. So base 1 times the height divided by 2 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2, and together those make the area. That's the area of your trapezoid.